Wrestling fans of the internet, welcome back to another episode of the MainLine at Linwood Wrestling Legends. As always, we are coming to you live and direct from an abandoned warehouse in Linwood. So if you love wrestling as much as we do here at Linwood Wrestling Legends, then you just gotta hop on that MainLine. As always, I'm your faithful host and color commentator, John. After all the turmoil and chaos we had last week, I'm really hoping for a good, clean wrestling show full of good matches. Good, wholesome family entertainment. This is the first time for everything, but that's my hope nevertheless. So let's go ringside right now and see some good, clean, wholesome family entertainment. Well, there goes the show. What's the hard boozing hardcore legend got for us tonight? Besides syphilis, gonorrhea, and God only knows what else. Incidentally, nobody used the third cubicle in the men's room until I say it's okay. Linwood Knight, all about his priorities. If he sobers up, there's a real danger that he realizes this promotion's been doing him dirty this whole time. Finally, somebody who isn't John the commentator getting chastised for their potty mouth. But I can't wait to see what's in that mystery box. Here it comes. Oh, you have got to be kidding. That idiot just hit the jackpot. What the hell were you thinking, Todd Sorensen? There is no way that this can't backfire horribly. And folks, we have a title match. It's going to be the main event tonight, so I'm going to spend the other 5 matches absolutely dreading it. The mystery box may have been my idea, but this one is all on General Manager Todd Sorensen. Alright, good people of Linwood, we are kicking this bad boy off with a tag team match, and I can't remember the last time we did that. After some recent scandals and a disastrous defeat at the hands of their former teammate Felicia, Catalina and Tabitha of Los Gatas Callejeras are desperate to regain some credibility, as well as the love of the good people of Linwood. But to do that, they're gonna have to begin with defeating Athena Kanakarides and Persephone Calazakis of the Amazons. And that is no mean feat. Let's go ringside right now to see if these kitty cats have any more lives left. The following tag match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Thessalonica, Greece, Athena Kanakarides and Persephone Calazakis are the Amazons. In the words of Matthew McConaughey, alright. I can't remember the last time we kicked off a show with a tag match, but I'm not gonna grumble because this one looks like it's gonna be a good one. It's always a treat to see wrestlers of the caliber of Athena Kanakarides and Persephone Calazakis in action. They are primed to go and ready to rock. And their opponents. From Guadalajara, Mexico, Catalina and Tabitha are Los Gatas Callejeras. The adulation of the mob is indeed a fickle thing, and just look how quickly this Linwood crowd have turned on Catalina and Tabitha. To be honest, I can't say I blame them. After sending their former teammate to jail, having an affair with their former teammate's fiancé, and then fleeing to Linwood when it was time to face the music, it's hard to feel any sympathy for these two. If that wasn't enough, they suffered the indignity of being both beaten by their former teammate Felicia a couple of weeks ago. Some folks would call that poetic justice, but one thing's for sure, their stock is really taking a nosedive. But I suppose that's what you get with cats. They're not exactly renowned for their loyalty. If they were Las Perras Callejeras, different story. But make no mistake, folks, your cat will betray you the first chance he or she gets. So if you're a cat parent, sleep with one eye open. But thankfully, as a dog dad, that's something I never have to worry about. And we got a hearty high five to kick things off. Referee Hojak von Gunda Schnitzelkrumm rings the bell and Persephone comes railing in. They have become by default the most wholesome team in the women's tag division. And they are going to show this Linwood crowd good camaraderie and sportsmanship. One can only hope. Tabitha coming off the springboard with a float over neck breaker. We got two technical Olympic style wrestlers facing off against two high flying luchadoras, and this is going to be a very interesting match. We got the whip into the corner. There goes the tag to Catalina, and let's see what the kitty cats have got for us. Persephone gets bent backwards, sprung off the springboard, and bounced onto the canvas. 3 weeks ago, that would have gotten a big pop from the crowd, but tonight the Boo Birds have come out to roost. Or whatever it is Boo Birds do, and can she get the early pin? What? We got the breakup from Athena. That was maybe a little too ambitious on Catalina's part, but she is sticking that moonsault. And as Ernie the cameraman has informed me, there are more than 3 different types of cats. So it really makes you wonder, how many other former members have they betrayed? 1, 2, and we got the kick out on the 2. These kitty cats have got a lot to prove after their loss to Felicia, and they are hell-bent on proving it tonight. We got the whip into the corner, and the tag is denied. Persephone getting a little acrobatic, and there goes the head scissors. Referee Hojak von Gunda Schnitzelkrumm is doing a great job of keeping this match on the rails, and we got the whip and a little ballet, and a step-up enziguri sends her down. Catalina off the slingshot, but she misses the frog splash. Nobody home. It's a window of opportunity for Persephone Kalazakis, and we got the tag to Athena. The Greek goddess is sporting a little more ink than the last time we saw her, and I gotta say, I approve. Up and over the shoulder she goes, and we got the running power slam. If the Amazons can keep this match grounded, then they are gonna have the advantage. If it goes sky high, you've got to give the advantage to the kitty cats. And hey, you there with the Fire John Adams sign, I see you, buddy. I've already taken your picture and sent it to Big Boris at the concession stand. If you order any food or drink from the concession stand, I hope you like the taste of Big Boris's spit. And if anybody else out there wants to be a smartass and get a taste of Big Boris's spit, bring it on. Athena looking a little dazed. Catalina hoisting her up and over the shoulder. We got a beautiful pop-up cutter. Athena's not letting that keep her down, and that was a lovely little kip-up. This crowd are backing the Amazons all the way, and it is not going to be an easy night for Los Gatas. We got the whip, a little ballet, and Athena goes in the... Oh my god, are we going to see an avalanche? Up goes Catalina, and good gravy, look at that avalanche Spanish fly. Can she get the pin? 1, 2, kick out after the 2, but check this out, folks. Ernie the cameraman's got these beautiful slow motion replays. It took him a long time to figure out how to do them, but we got them now. And I gotta say, Ernie the cameraman, I tip my hat to you. But don't let it go to your head. Athena coming in with the intercept and a cheeky little stomp to the gut. The tide of this match is turning, and what do we got here? Athena getting the butterfly hooks, but we got the counter from Catalina. Up and over into the fireman's carry, which is no longer used by real firefighters. But most importantly, folks, if Las Gatas were instead Las Perras Callejeras, would Catalina's name be Dogalina, and what would Tabitha's name be? Be sure to let me know in the comments. And folks, it's not my intention to offend anybody out there named Dogalina, so if that happened, I do apologize. And we got the tag to Athena. Here comes some sweet teamwork. And we got the whip into an atomic drop and a big boot to the face. Now that's some stellar teamwork. Let's get another one of those slow-mo replays. And folks, I just had a thought. If they were Las Perras Callejeras, would that make Tabitha Chihuahua? I only mention this because you're going to have a real hard time selling the tag team of Dogalina and Chihuahua. But who knows, maybe if Los Gatas decide to reinvent themselves, they can start winning back a little goodwill from this Linwood crowd. Then again, this Las Perras business is probably a terrible idea, so I accept no responsibility if they're foolish enough to try it. Athena's got the counter. Athena's got something cooking, and what do we got here? We're seeing some technical skills on display with that abdominal stretch. That is some tricky business in a way we usually only see from Run DMC. But Tabitha's got the counter. And kids, if you don't know who Run DMC is, ask a grown-up. Athena coming back with a counter of her own, and this one is starting to get a little ugly. But not as ugly as the people in the front row tonight, because that is a really high bar. I've got no idea why we can't just move all the uggos to the back row. Look at the height on that dropkick. Athena's gonna have to make the... And here's a message from General Manager Todd Sorensen. I am being fined for pointing out the ugliness of the crowd. And we got a Death Valley driver. But you know what, folks? I saw that one coming. And every week I preload a little credit just in case I get fined. Last I checked, I had $400 in there, which should be good for a few more zingers. It's just a little something called being fiscally responsible, kids. Tabitha's setting up for something big, and she is getting the run-up. But Athena saw that one coming a mile away. And we got Catalina headbutted off the apron. Tabitha going for the... Oh, now I've ruined it. Look what you people made me do. And here comes something really cool. Boom! That was the Archimedes screw. And you bet your ass that's getting the slow motion treatment. This is some technical wrestling mastery on display. Archimedes of Syracuse would have given that move a hearty thumbs up. And look how cool it looks in slow-mo. But will it be enough to take the pin? And the pin gets broken up by Catalina. See, I didn't say Dogalina this time, and we got the tag to Persephone. And fun fact, I used to know a Rottweiler named Persephone. Everybody just called her Seth. We got the whip and a little ballet and a hurricane rana. And a tag to Catalina. And please don't think I'm trying to draw any parallels between Persephone Callejeras and a Rottweiler. That was not my intention. And we got the laws of physics being defied once again. I'm hoping if we keep defying the laws of physics, some university will give us a really big grant. Catalina going for the bolo de cuerda but missing the mark. Nobody home. Up into the scoop she goes. My God, I've never seen that one before. Can we get another look, Ernie? Folks, I have just been informed that Persephone calls this move the Callejeras cutter. It's another brilliant display of technical wrestling skill. And if you invented a move that cool, why wouldn't you name it after yourself? 1, 2, and kick out after the 2. The Amazons are making up lost ground and they are taking control of this match. We got the whip and into the corner she goes, but the tag is denied. Vicious swipe from Catalina. This cat's got claws. Catalina hitting the springboard and there goes a moonsault. And folks, I deeply lament the fact that every wrestler I see on TV can do a moonsault. Once you get the big chubby guys doing them, all of a sudden a moonsault's not special anymore, and we got the tag to Athena. There goes the whip, and up and over into a belly-to-belly suplex. But on the topic of moonsaults, you'll be pleased to know that is not the case with our wrestlers. Believe me, if we ever see the Violator busting out moonsaults, we are going to give him a serious talking to. But here's something even cooler than a moonsault, and folks, we are going to see it. Up onto the shoulders goes Tabitha, and here it comes. Yo no soy marinero. That was the Nuevos Vidas. Going for the pin, but in comes Persephone. But we got to see that one in slow motion. But for those of you who didn't see as many episodes of Dora the Explorer as I did, Nuevos Vidas is the 9 lives elbow drop. And this kitty cat doesn't always land on her feet. And that is one hell of a drop. And so much better in slow motion. I gotta say, Ernie the cameraman, I am absolutely loving these slow motion replays, and I think we're gonna keep them. And that was a cheeky little assist from Catalina. Las Gatas looking to isolate Athena to keep her from making the tag. Shotgun dropkick misses the mark. Tabitha with the stiff shot to the face. There goes the whip into the corner. I have never seen this one before. Boom! Tornado DDT off the springboard. Can she get the pin? 1, 2. Kick out after the 2, but we gotta see that again. We have officially got first blood, and these slow motion replays are making me excited about replays in a way I never thought possible. Persephone standing by on the apron, desperate for her teammate to make that tag. Tabitha gets her by the scruff of the neck and straight into the turnbuckle she goes, but she is not staying there. Athena is firing back with a salvo of stiff shots, and into a German suplex. She's got something big in mind, and here it comes. Damn, that would have been cool, but Tabitha rolled away. Better luck next time. And if you've never been kicked in the inner thigh, let me assure you it's painful. Over the shoulder she goes, but Tabitha's got the counter. Athena's going to want to make that tag soon, but Tabitha is looking to go sky high. There's the hot tag to Persephone, and the aerial assault is cancelled. Persephone laying down the law. Tabitha going for something off the springboard, but Persephone does not want to play. Going in low with a sneaky DDT. I never thought this Linwood crowd would enjoy seeing Las Gatas Callejeras get this kind of flogging, but these are strange times indeed, folks. If Las Gatas Callejeras want to win back the fans they've lost, this is not the way to do it. But you gotta hand it to Persephone Callejeras. She barely seems to be breaking a sweat, and that is some phenomenal athleticism. Out come the stiff chops, but the dropkick misses the mark. Even if Las Gatas can turn water to wine and cure the common cold, they are still going to get booed by this Linwood crowd, and we got the tag to Catalina. If I'm being honest, folks, I'm still not sure whether I should believe Ernie the cameraman about there being more than 3 types of cats. I think I'm going to need some photographic proof, and then I'm going to need some kind of expert to verify the integrity of those photos. Catalina looking to defy the laws of physics again, but Persephone saw it coming. And while I'd like to think I'm smart enough to know if somebody's recolored a picture of a grey tabby in Photoshop, I have been fooled by that kind of thing before. Persephone going sky high. Into the moonsault she goes, but Catalina gets the knees up. I don't think I've ever seen Persephone do a moonsault before, but you know what? I'll allow it. I'm not usually a fan of gatekeeping, but we really gotta start making rules about the moonsault, because that is getting ridiculous. Deadly swipe to the back from Catalina. Persephone's got to be in agony after that one, and we got the ripcord and the high knee strike. Can she get the pin? 1, and the breakup from Athena. Las Gatas have dropped all attempts to win any popularity contests. They are just looking to make their opponents suffer. Tabitha looks like she's doing something to the ropes, and whatever it is, it's no good. Catalina getting whipped into the opposite corner, but the tag is denied. Athena Kanakaridis looking on cautiously and just waiting for that tag. Persephone getting the whip into the ropes. Good golly, Miss Molly, what was that? Catalina going for the pin. 1, and we got a rope break, but we got to see that again. Persephone came in hot off the rebound, and there was a whole lot of height to that flapjack. And look at that kick. That damn near violated the laws of physics again. And referee Hojak von Gunderschnitzelkrom, you are doing an outstanding job. 1. Kick out on the 1. And I wouldn't normally say that to a referee, but sometimes Hojak gets a bit nervous and it's good to give him a little reassurance. He's done well so far, but we're still kind of breaking him in. And we got the fallen axe handle. Persephone has fought off 2 pin attempts and she is not out of this yet. We got the whip into the corner. Tag gets denied by Catalina. Got a little collar and elbow into a back hold, and Persephone's got the counter. Up and over the shoulder Persephone goes, and we got another pop-up cutter. This Linwood crowd is in the Amazon's corner and they did not like that. A lot of tag matches come down to who can whip who into whose corner, and this looks like it'll be no exception. Catalina getting the run up into a rope-assisted enziguri, but Persephone is firing back. Up and over she goes into a sweet suplex. Persephone Callejeras is done playing patty cake, and she has given it to Catalina with both barrels. I got a feeling this kitty cat is about to be neutered. Catalina might still have a few lives left after all that. Going for the up and over, but Catalina's got the counter, and a few deadly swipes of the claw. Persephone looking a little rattled, but she is still on her feet. Catalina taken to the springboard, and good gravy! Look at the distance on that drop kick. Can she get the pin? What? That was nothing short of miraculous. Once again, I gotta tip my hat to the cardio of all of these wrestlers. This is a match that's really gone the distance. And if we wanted to open with a hot match, then this one has been suitably caliente. We got the drive into the corner. And folks, we are about to see something really, really cool. Athena taken to the top rope. Boom! That was the flight of Icarus. Can she get the pin? Oh, pin gets broken up, but we gotta see that again. Catalina flew a little too close to the sun, and then Athena came to melt her wings of feathers and wax. It's a tale as old as time, or at the very least as old as the Minoan civilization from whence it came. And useless trivia, Icarus's father was the inventor Daedalus who built the labyrinth in which the Minotaur was imprisoned. And my god, I hope we never see another Minotaur and Cyclops match. Athena warming up, going for the stretch, and there goes the split leg drop. Somebody's been taking Miss Venice Beach's yoga lessons. Can she get the pin? 1, 2, 3. The Amazons take the win. Let's go see some highlights from Ernie the cameraman. As far as tag matches go, this one really ticked all the boxes. We had technical wrestling, high-flying acrobatics, and great shows of camaraderie between both teams. That, plus now we got those sweet slow-mo replays. After the recent, scandal, I don't know if there's gonna be any coming back for Las Gatas Callejeras. But I gotta say, I'm a little curious to see what kind of heel turn they might take. Congratulations to Athena Kanakarides and Persephone Callejeras of the Amazons for this magnificent victory. It's safe to say that this Linwood crowd has some new favorites in the women's tag division. That match was a great way to start off the show. But after a match like that, this show can only get worse. My only hope is it doesn't get much worse. That's certainly happened before. Here comes La Femme Brutale of Marisa DuValier. And are we about to see another mystery box get cracked open? I certainly hope so. But please God, let it be something less egregious than what Linwood Knight got. And here we go, folks. Je ne parle pas français, so I'm going to assume that was a compliment. Why wouldn't it be? Oh, that was absolutely a compliment. But here we go again, and folks, I am on pins and needles. Oh, the anticipation. Ooh, in the words of Homer Simpson, you got you got the dud. Oh, I never thought I'd say this, but I am really looking forward to this Minotaur and Cyclops match. There's a first time for everything, folks, and once again, I'm assuming that was another compliment. Because why wouldn't you give your boss a big old compliment when he tells you you're gonna do a Minotaur and Cyclops? Oh, this is too good. If you're a fan of old school wrestling, the Detroit original Yo-Yo Brown is about as old school as they come. He's about to face off with Broforce One's very own box booth butcher, Yonder Slagter. And folks, I've got a bad feeling that Yo-Yo Brown has no idea what he's getting into. Whichever way this shakes out, we can absolutely guarantee one thing. This is going to be entertaining as hell. So let's go ringside right now and check it out. following match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan in the United States, he is the Detroit original, Yo-Yo Brown. Folks, I am deeply concerned for Yo-Yo Brown, and I don't just mean that in the usual I hope he gets the help and or meds he needs, because that kinda goes without saying. But we are about to put this geriatric fossil in the ring with one of the most egregious cheaters this promotion has ever seen. And I will be the first to admit that I have been pleasantly surprised by some of Yo-Yo Brown's matches. But he's got no idea what he's walking into tonight. I just really hope this match doesn't cross the line and go from being a wrestling match to televised elder abuse. But then again, I'm probably not giving Yo-Yo Brown enough credit. There's still a little of that old magic left. Emphasis on the words old and little. And while he's definitely up there, I'm not entirely sure if Yo-Yo Brown is the oldest active wrestler out there. We're still waiting on the results of the carbon dating. And his opponent, representing Broforce 1 and accompanied by his manager Corey 312 from Boksburg, South Africa, he is the Boksburg Butcher, Jan de Slagter. Last week, Corey 312 promised to make our general manager Todd Sorensen's life a living hell. He is determined to scoop up every wrongin', crumbum, no-goodnik and ne'er-do-well in the wrestling world and rally them to his banner. As far as ne'er-do-wells go, they don't get near to worse than this guy, the Boksburg Butcher. Having received no punishment whatsoever last week for his egregious cheating, the Boksburg Butcher has no incentive to play by the rules in this match. But apparently that's just fine and dandy with our general manager Todd Sorensen. He thinks all this chaos puts bums on seats and sells merch. As Corey stated last week, he intends to start his own wrestling promotion, and much like Vince McMahon years before, he has decided to poach his pick of our roster. Believe it or not, he actually offered me a commentary job, and I told him where he could shove it. Not because I've got any particular loyalty to this place, but mostly because I don't like him. His response was, "Fine, bro, I'll just replace you with an AI voice, bro. But if there's an AI that thinks it can do a better job than me, bring it on." De Slagter's got some choice words for his opponent. Referee, sweet, merciful crap! The Boksburg Butcher has knocked out referee Tom Herb. If it was any other referee, I'd say somebody should check on them. But we're talking about referee Tom Herb, so screw him. De Slagter taking full advantage, and he is going for the chair. This one's gonna get bloody straight off the bat. Yo-Yo Brown taking a chair shot to the head, and down he goes. De Slagter adding a little insult to injury and taking full advantage of the unconscious referee. Nails him with the running bulldog. He's looking pretty pleased with himself, but this Linwood crowd is not having a bar of it. His odious manager is standing ringside egging him on, and we have referee Tom Herb back on his feet. And now we're playing silly buggers with the turnbuckle covers. The Butcher is showing an almost pathological need to cheat. We got the headlock takeover, and he is going for the wrench. So far, the Detroit original hasn't been able to get in a word edgewise. I really hope our staff veterinarian Francesca is somewhere nearby. I guarantee her services are going to be needed, and we got Yo-Yo mounting a comeback, going for the roll-up. Kick out from the Butcher, and there's really no point doing that unless the referee is there to counter. We are going to see a good old-fashioned slobber knocker. And I'm pretty sure that guy in the second row is wearing a shirt that says Daddy, but I can't make out the other word. And now that I take a closer look, I can see an O in the middle. It must say Daddy John, because he knows I'm the daddy around here. Yo-Yo Brown getting clocked with a leg lariat while the Butcher checks his hair. And if anybody else in the audience wants to buy a Daddy John shirt, we got a whole bunch of them at the merch table. We got the whip into the ropes. Going for the scoop slam, but Yo-Yo gives him the slip. There is still a little life left in the Detroit original, although probably not a lot more if we're being honest. De Slagter goes into the powerbomb position and straight into the turnbuckle. Snake Eyes. Yo-Yo trying to get a run up, but he stops short because he's old and his knees can't take it. But he is going to work with those boots. Maybe all hope is not lost and the Detroit Original can withstand the Butcher's dirty tricks. But don't quote me on that because I have been wrong before. Face first into the turnbuckle again. And are we going to see an avalanche? Apparently not, but that was a pretty cool snapmare from the top rope. Folks, I think we're about to see something really cool. Yo-Yo with the bounce off the rope and some seriously sweet dance moves. Boom, there goes the leg drop. We gotta give that one the slow motion treatment. As you can see, the Detroit Original narrowly manages to avoid clocking referee Tom Herb, but maybe he'll have better luck next time. In the meantime, Yo-Yo Brown can still stick and move with the best of them and bust out some sweet leg drops. I've seen this look before and I think he's gonna go for the three homies. Going for the grab, but the Butcher's got the counter. Good gravy, that kick came from out of nowhere. And can he get the pin? 1, 2. Kick out after the 2. And I have just been informed that we are having a 75% off sale on Daddy John's shirts. The Slagter lining him up and unleashing the JCVD kick. Can he get the pin? 1, 2. Kick out on the 2. Let's see that again. Did I ever mention how much I'm enjoying these slow-mo replays? You can see every bone-cracking detail. I got a feeling this one's going to wrap up early, but this Linwood crowd is chanting fight forever. And we got more shenanigans with the turnbuckle covers. We got a little collar and elbow. There goes the whip, and once again he manages to narrowly avoid hitting referee Tom Herb. Better luck next time. So far, referee Tom Herb has done a wonderful job of not getting hit, but that's because he is above all things a coward. And we got the drive into the ropes. Up and over he goes to the apron. Vicious knees to the face. And down he goes onto the cardboard. The Butcher is showing nothing but contempt for his foe, to say nothing of his contempt for this Linwood crowd and the sport of wrestling in general. Butcher going topside, and we've got a sign in the audience that says he's back. Although we're not sure who he is or where he went. Maybe be a little more descriptive next time, my dude. Yo-Yo Brown hitting that falling punch, and we finally have first blood. I'm genuinely surprised it's not Yo-Yo Brown's blood. But for all we know, that may be a side effect of the heavy vulcanized rubber he claims he had his spine replaced with in the 70s. Butcher looking to the ropes, but the Detroit Original has got his number. And speaking of numbers, once again, I didn't win Lotto, so no free pizza for any of you. Yo-Yo Brown hitting him with the backbreaker. The Detroit Original has finally taken this thing seriously, and who knows, maybe we'll see another small miracle tonight. He's looking to go sky high as fast as his geriatric frame will carry him. He's stalking his prey from on high and waiting for the Butcher to get to his feet. Posting up and going down for that falling punch, but nobody home. The Butcher saw that one coming. Butcher gets the whip, and up and over the ropes he goes. Detroit Original had that one scouted, so he stays on the apron. Into another side headlock takeover, and the Butcher is getting the wrench. And apparently now we're offering 2 Daddy John shirts with the purchase of any single item of merch. We just need to get rid of the damn things. Just like the Butcher got rid of that turnbuckle cover. Going in for the step-up Superman punch. Yo-Yo Brown starting to look like he's... Good golly, Miss Molly. He saw that one coming and he was not going to stand for it. Yo-Yo going for the arm wringer. But the Butcher is countering back with a stiff shot to the face. And boom goes the forward Russian leg sweep. And there goes second blood. We all knew this one was going to turn ugly sooner or later. Drive into the corner once again. But the Detroit Original is not staying there. Yo-Yo getting the roll up, and can he get the pin? 1, 2. Kick out after the 2. Hitting that falling headbutt, and I'm not sure a man his age should be doing that. And kids, don't any of you go doing that unless your mum says it's okay. It's hard to tell who came off worse in that exchange. Butcher dumping him with a bulldog. Lining him up and hitting him with the drive-by knee. And I've told you people a million times, just glue the damn things on. Referee Tom Herb goes to deal with that nonsense. Sweet, merciful testicles! I can't believe he did that again! Can I say the word testicles on the internet? If I get cancelled for saying the word testicles on the internet, I'm gonna know it was one of you that snitched, and believe me, I will find out who. Yo-Yo Brown is out cold and the Butcher is taking full advantage. This is absolutely disgusting. 1, 2, 3. Jan de Slagter takes the win. Let's go see some highlights from Ernie the cameraman. Corey312 promised to make General Manager Todd Sorensen's life a living hell, and by extension, a living hell for everybody at this promotion. And I've got a feeling this is his way of doing that. The fact that the Butcher keeps going unpunished for this disgusting behavior really shows you how hard up we are for talent. There's more than enough blame to go around, and it would be remiss of me not to mention the gross incompetence of referee Tom Herb. You know what, General Manager Todd Sorensen? You can take this job and shove it, is what I would say if I didn't need to pay rent or buy dog food. It's because of this kind of crap right here that other wrestling promotions don't take us seriously. I've had a really sinking feeling ever since Corey312 reared his ugly head, and I don't want to know how much worse it's gonna get. Imagine my surprise when I learned that these two wrestlers, Miss Venice Beach Candice Deveraux and the Blue Bomber Whitney Olivier, have never faced each other in the ring before. We're about to remedy that right now, and I've got a feeling, given how different these wrestlers are, we're gonna see a little tension sparking off. We've got two of the very best in our women's division, and this has all the makings of a great match. So let's go ringside right now and see for ourselves. The following match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Venice Beach, California in the United States, she is Miss Venice Beach, Candice Deveraux. All hail our rightful queen, Miss Venice Beach, Candice Deveraux. She pays me $5 a pop every time I say that, so I'm gonna keep saying it. But to be honest, I'm kinda shocked that we have never seen Miss Venice Beach and the Blue Bomber facing off. But given the trajectory both their careers are on, it was inevitable they'd lock horns at some point, and we get to see it now. Referee Zekajahira Mayabes Jones parting the ropes to let our rightful queen pass, as well he should. But whoever can take the win tonight is gonna find themselves just that little bit closer to the next title shot. Either way, I'm really hoping that this match will be a much-needed palate cleanser after, well, what we just saw before. If you didn't see the previous match, go see it now, because Daddy needs the clicks. And her opponent, from Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada, she is the Blue Bomber. She is Whitney Olivier. And I gotta say, after winning that Linwood deathmatch at the Mystery Box against Grace Mutibo, this Linwood crowd has really started to warm to the Blue Bomber. Despite her brash attitude and unpredictable temper, you're looking at one of the best in our women's division right now. And tonight we are looking at two very different wrestlers from very different backgrounds. It's the Beauty Queen versus the maple syrup chugging roughneck, and there is no way in hell these two would ever be friends in any social situation. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out in the ring tonight, but whichever way this one shakes out, I think us wrestling fans are in for a treat. And if anybody watching this is not a wrestling fan, I can only assume you know me in real life and gave me a pity sub. Either way, I'm glad you're here, and in the words of General Manager Todd Sorensen, don't forget to buy some merch. Oh wow, sportsmanship. Maybe the Blue Bombers... Oh, no, there it is. Damn, I felt that slap from here. The Blue Bomber is making it known she has nothing but contempt for Miss Venice Beach. Candice Deveraux looking to get a little payback, and she sticks the DDT and lets it be known that the contempt is more than mutual. These two seem to have taken an instant dislike to each other straight off the bat, and that is going to make for a great match. This uptown girl has been living in her uptown world, but she has never faced... I forget how the rest of that song goes, but it's a good one. And on a related note, was anybody as disappointed as I was not to see any kind of cameo from Billy Joel in any episode of The Boys? It felt like they were setting it up from the very first episode, and then they just kind of left us all hanging. But as Whitney Olivier is finding out tonight, life is full of cruel disappointments. There goes the drive into the corner. The Blue Bomber is at the mercy of Miss Venice Beach, but nobody puts Whitney Olivier in the corner. And who's up for some good old-fashioned kinetic chess? A lot of the wrestlers on our roster can barely play kinetic checkers, but these two know exactly which way the horsies move. In an L shape last time I checked. And what do we got going on here? Onto the apron goes the Blue Bomber, a stiff knee strike to the face. A wop bop a loo bop a lop bamboo. That leg drop center to the cardboard. That was badass. We gotta see that again. I have never seen Candice Deveraux pull off this move. It's a real testament to how far her technical skills have come, and she is not one to sit on the laurels of her beauty crown. I'm guessing all that yoga she does on her yoga channel doesn't hurt either. And seeing as her yoga channel gets more views than we do, it would sure be nice if she could give us a plug every now and then. Things have not gone well for the Blue Bomber so far, but she is looking to turn that around, and we got a good old-fashioned ground and pound. Folks, it doesn't get much more primal than that. Well, okay, maybe it does get more primal than that, but that's about as primal as we can show. And we got the whippings of the steel stairs. Any more primal than that, and we would have to start putting disclaimers everywhere. Because obviously we don't want all the little kiddywinks out there seeing something they shouldn't when they're just sitting down to watch two women beat each other bloody. This is wholesome family entertainment right here. And we are back in the ring and back on the rails. Locking up with some collar and elbow. And boom! Spinning backbreaker from Whitney Olivier. The spin might not have been necessary, but it gave the move a little extra snazz. The Blue Bomber is doing what she does best and busting out the technical grappling skills. And that was a lovely suplex. Cannonball off the springboard. The Blue Bomber is getting her second wind, and the tide of this match is turning. Into the ropes goes Deveraux. Spinning power slam off the rebound. If it wasn't obvious before, the Blue Bomber did not come out here tonight to make friends. And on the contrary, with her previous rival being vanquished, Whitney Olivier might have just made herself a new enemy. Going for the tried and true scoop slam. The Blue Bomber absolutely thrives on conflict. If she doesn't have a nemesis to fixate on, she just sits alone in her room drinking maple syrup and threatening people on the internet. It's an episode of Dark Side of the Ring just waiting to happen. Miss Venice Beach looking to turn the tide. And there goes another beautiful spinning power slam off the rebound. Whoa! Kick out after the one. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Candice Deveraux. We're starting to see a little wear and tear on Whitney Olivier, but she is not letting it keep her down. Giving her the slip and into a beautiful gutbuster. What the hell is going on? Hey Ernie, what gives? Are we having another incursion from that rogue fox terrier who sneaks in? What the hell? Okay, who is this clown and why is he coming down the ramp with a camera? We are being invaded by the paparazzo. Good gravy, Whitney Olivier stunned with a camera flash. Referee Jeremiah Jones threatening to shove that camera somewhere very unpleasant and running off our troublesome paparazzo. You're doing a bang-up job there, Jeremiah. That troublesome distraction gave Miss Venice Beach the time she needed to regroup and get back to her feet. Rebound off the ropes and straight into the leg drop. And there's another one just for good measure. The tides of this match are turning, but Whitney Olivier is not staying down. She is not about to let some obnoxious weasel with a camera derail her efforts. I'm sorry folks, I meant to say crap weasel. Please forgive my potty mouth, and we are about to see something really cool. Boom! Dive into a NATO DDT! You have no idea how badly I've wanted to see this one in slow motion, so let's do it. We are going to take this replay to the new recruits at Developmental and make them study every last frame, because this is what it looks like when a move comes together perfectly. Then again, half of our new recruits can barely do a proper headlock, so this one might be setting the bar a bit too high. But it's always nice to give them something to aspire to. This Linwood crowd is absolutely loving it, and I gotta say, so far this has been a great match. Referee Jerome Jones narrowly avoiding becoming collateral damage, and can she get the pin? 1, 2. Oh, kick out just after the 2. We're not even 10 minutes into this match, but just look at how much great wrestling we've seen so far. All of you slack-jawed troglodytes in the men's division could learn a thing or two from our women's division. Both wrestlers back on their feet, and we got a leg lariat out of nowhere. And there goes first blood. I will stack our women's division against that of any other promotion, because these modern-day gladiatrixes are absolutely crushing it. I'm really hoping the reason the women's matches get some more views is because the matches are just straight up better, and it was only a matter of time before we got a good old-fashioned slobber knocker. I'm really hoping those extra views on the women's matches aren't just because of thirsty neckbeards, because if that's what you're looking for, you gotta take it somewhere else, and I'm not telling you where. Whitney Olivier taking a cue from Pat Benatar and saying, hit me with your best shot. And kids, if you don't know who Pat Benatar is, ask somebody my age, and Miss Venice Beach gets the decisive blow. Candice Deveraux showing contempt to her fallen foe, and can she get the pin? 1. Kick out after the 1. There is still a whole lot of fuel in the Blue Bomber's tank. And can anybody tell me what it says on that dude's shirt? I can't quite make it out, and it's driving me crazy. As far as I can tell, it's a homemade Metallica shirt. Miss Venice Beach bent backwards over the shoulder. Good gravy! That was a reverse tree of woe right there. At least that's what I'm gonna call it. The regular tree of woe is horrible enough, and somehow Whitney Olivier found a way to make it worse, and we got second blood. Up into the tried and true scoop slam, and Whitney Olivier is determined to extract maple syrup out of this tree of woe. We're back on the cardboard, and here comes the trusty ground and pound. And what would maple syrup from the tree of woe taste like? Bitter or worse than regular maple syrup? And here it comes, folks. Up she goes, and we got a 1, 2, 3. That was a triple powerbomb salvo. Let's see it again in slow-mo. Any one of these powerbombs would be bad news. But 3 in a row, you better hope there's a chiropractor somewhere in the audience. And you'd better believe that that cardboard ringside does absolutely nothing to lessen the impact. And that's just the way we like it. We figured out a long time ago that it's actually cheaper for our staff veterinarian Francesca to just keep handing out painkillers than it would be to invest in some padded mats. If we start blowing our money on things like padded mats, where does the insanity stop? Next thing you know, we'll be replacing those missing toilet seats, and folks, we are not made of money. Blue Bomber getting whipped into the edge of the apron. This one's gonna go back in the ring soon, and here comes the Blue Bomber. Jiminy Jillikers! Referee Jerome Jones gets clocked by an errant strike. Candice Deveraux gives her the slip and another beautiful leg lariat. She's been having a lot of luck with that move lately. It comes from out of nowhere, and it's got a lot of momentum behind it. Much like this show itself, if I do say so myself. 1, 2. Kick out on the 2. Miss Venice Beach was not happy about that, but she's still got a ways to go. As far as I know, it's still World Cup season, so what better way to celebrate than with a soccer kick to the back? Blue Bomber giving her the slip, but Miss Venice Beach is punching out of what would have been a beautiful float-over DDT. Olivier catches the leg and drops the elbow, and down she goes with a stiff slap. Candice Deveraux looking stunned, and there goes another drive into the corner. In comes the Blue Bomber. There goes the whip. Olivier goes sideways and into a bulldog. That's some skilled rope running right there. Bret Hart once said that nobody ever won a fight with a chop, but Miss Venice Beach is doing her damnedest. Up and over the shoulder she goes and straight down into the atomic drop. Whitney Olivier piling on a little sass for good measure, and my God, look at all that blood. What we're seeing here is a match that's really gone the distance, and this is a testament to the cardio of both of these wrestlers. Miss Venice Beach getting the reversal, but Whitney Olivier is not staying in the corner. Dropkick misses the mark. Up and over she goes into a perfect fisherman suplex. And here's just a little more sass from Whitney Olivier if you didn't get enough last time. Blue Bomber going for the clothesline, but Miss Venice Beach giving her the slip, and we're about to see it, folks. Boom! That was the beauty crown. First she's got to drag her opponent away from the ropes, but will that be enough to get the pin? We shall soon find out. One! And my God, that was a small miracle, but let's see this again in slow-mo. If you're really clever, you could probably teach yourself how to do these moves with the slow-motion replays. But kids, don't try this at home, unless your mum says it's okay. In which case, go nuts. We're seeing a lot of blood on both these competitors, and this is exactly what this Linwood crowd came to see. Through the ropes and onto the cardboard goes Miss Venice Beach, and we're going to see another one of those sweet diving DDTs. Boom! There it goes. I can't remember the last time I saw two of those in one match, so this is a real treat. And we are going back in the ring. Candice Deveraux looking the worse for wear while the Blue Bomber looks to take to the skies. Miss Venice Beach back on her feet and doing alright. Aerial assault gets cancelled and we are back in the ring. This has got to be it. We got 1, 2, and 3. Powerbomb salvo. Can she get the pin? 1, 2, 3. Whitney Olivier takes the win. Let's see some highlights from Ernie the cameraman. I said it before, I'll say it again. This was a great match. We saw some amazing wrestling skills on display from both of these competitors. This was exactly the palate cleanser I needed after the dreck we saw earlier, and I got a feeling this won't be the end of it. These two seem to have taken an instant dislike to each other, and that, folks, is great news for us as wrestling fans. The wrestling business thrives on drama and conflict, and I am absolutely on board for seeing more matches like this. So bravo to both of these wrestlers, but unfortunately there can only be one winner tonight, and that winner is Whitney Olivier. Congratulations to the Blue Bomber Whitney Olivier on this amazing victory. I got a feeling we may be looking at the next contender for the Women's World title. And after that stunning display, I can't wait to see a match between her and Lady Liberty. So to whoever does the booking around here, make it happen. Folks, there is a lot wrong with our men's division. I really don't have the time to go into all of it, but one thing's for sure, we desperately need some new blood. So here's a new recruit we just brought up from developmental, the electric gigolo, Mustapha Korkmaz. He's making his debut tonight against the Professor Jerome Scott, and if he sucks, we'll just send him back to developmental. So let's go ringside right now and see what our new recruit has got for us. The following match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Erdina, Turkey, he is the Electric Gigolo. He is the Electric Sex Machine, Mustapha Korkmaz. At the risk of sounding like an old man yelling at a cloud, what the hell is up with you kids these days? Back in my day, we didn't have any fancy electric sex machines. All our sex machines had to be operated with a system of pulleys and levers. Nevertheless, Mustapha here claims to be Turkey's answer to one of my favourite wrestlers, ravishing Rick Rude. But I've got news for you, Mustapha. Having a cocky attitude and abs of steel doesn't necessarily make you the next ravishing Rick Rude. That said, let's see what this guy can do in the ring. And his opponent, from Cleveland, Ohio in the United States, he is the Professor, Jerome Scott. It's been a pretty bumpy run for the Professor lately, which is a damn shame because he is absolutely the best technical wrestler we have got. He's certainly a hit with the crowd, and he's hands down got the highest IQ of anybody on the men's roster, which admittedly is a very low bar. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if I were in charge of the booking around here, I'd be using this guy a hell of a lot more. I get that he's still trying to balance his wrestling gig with his day job as a physics professor, but we've got our very own Bret the Hitman Hart right here, and it's an absolute crime that we don't use him more. And it seems like a bit of a waste to put him against somebody who's just matriculated through our developmental program, which once again is a pretty low bar. Referee Henrietta Sorensen rings the bell and these two are squaring off. Looks like we're going to open this thing with some good old-fashioned kinetic chess. And in terms of kinetic chess, Mustapha is about to square off against Magnus Carlsen. But folks, I got a few details backstage about our new recruit here. Apparently, he paid his way through training and developmental by working as an exotic dancer and a companion for lonely rich widows. Nice work if you can get it. He also says it's a good thing he's here tonight to show the ladies what a real man looks like, because God knows they're not seeing that from our existing roster. His words, not mine, folk. Oh, what the hell was that? That was rather unnecessary. I would like to remind the Electric Gigolo that he is no longer working as an exotic dancer. This is good quality family entertainment right here, and we have standards. At least we do on paper. We got the weapons in the corner. In comes the Electric Gigolo with a nasty clothesline and a back elbow. Yeah, okay, we get it, buddy. You're an absolute beefcake. Nobody likes a show-off. Mustapha going in with another falling punch. As much as I hate to sound like General Manager Todd Sorensen, even if this guy ends up sucking, there is a whole lot of merch opportunities to be had here. If Shawn Michaels can pose for Playgirl magazine, then we can make a sexy wrestlers calendar with just him for all 12 months. Our last sexy wrestlers calendar was an absolute disaster. We never should have made Linwood Night Mr. January, and we have got a good old-fashioned slobber knocker. And do my eyes deceive me, or is referee Henrietta Sorensen eyeing up the Electric Gigolo's trunks and looking for a place she can stuff a $20 bill? This guy really thinks he's God's gift to women and wrestling, and the latter remains to be seen. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to have a break from chubby guys doing scoop slams, but are we really that hard up for talent that we're recruiting exotic dancers of questionable repute? And I certainly don't mean any disrespect to any chubby wrestlers out there who enjoy doing scoop slams. Professor laying him out with the kitchen sink, and he is going to be looking to drop a lesson in applied physics. And we got a rope break. And fun fact, folks, it only takes 15 kilos of force to break an arm at the elbow. Even a child could do it with the right leverage, and the Professor knows where to find all the leverage, but he is eating some stiff shots and a snapmare with a bionic oh, for God's sakes. There's children in the audience, probably. And what's the Electric Gigolo got for us now? Up into the electric chair and boom! German suplex! I have never seen that one before. Let's take another look. And I have just been informed that Mustapha calls this move the Turkish snow cone. I don't even want to know what that's a reference to, and I am not going to pollute my search history with it. But I gotta say, those are some sweet technical skills on display. The Electric Gigolo wants all the slovenly men in the audience to know that he can grate cheese on those abs, and he is going sky high. He's looking to make a big splash, and there it goes. Can he get the pin? 1, 2, kick out on the 2. School is still very much in session, and if the Professor's got a lesson he wants to drop, he better do it soon. This crowd is chanting, "We're not worthy," and folks, that's what I've been saying all along. Drive into the ropes from the professor. Up he goes and jackknifed into the ropes. This physics lecture is not done yet. Electric Gigolo with the run-in, but the professor's got his number with that jawbreaker and that sweet flying shoulder tackle. On the plus side, the Electric Gigolo is really easy to see with that bright green getup. That could come in handy if the lights ever go out at this abandoned warehouse. Professor's got him clocked. He's looking to make up some ground with a salvo of strikes. Good gravy, we got a reversal into a German suplex and a 1 and a 2. That was some slippery technical work from Mustapha Korkmaz. And good God, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'd be lying if I said my Turkish was impeccable. Professor taking a leaf from his hero Bret Hart and going for that sharpshooter. Can he make the Electric Gigolo tap or snap? Mustapha powering out. Boom, there he goes. The Electric Gigolo has barely given the professor any room to get a word in edgewise. And what do we got here? Up into the powerbomb position he goes. Into the fireman's carry and straight into the ropes. I gotta say, this debut is going better than I expected. When I saw the words Electric Gigolo, my heart sunk. And while I'm not crazy about the mannerisms or the attitude, I gotta admit, this guy can really go, and we got first blood. Professor eyeing up his opponent and running in with a sweet crucifix. But to be fair, we've had wrestlers with much worse names than the Electric Gigolo before. Does anybody remember Stanley Sasquatch? I can't believe that was his real name. I remember he had a brother named Steven Sasquatch. I think I saw him wrestle out in Kaiapoi a couple of times. Electric Gigolo looking to go sky high. Boom! Nobody home. Then of course there was his sister Stephanie Sasquatch. She was probably the best wrestler out of the three of them, and it's a shame she got eaten by those lions at Arana Park. And folks, I can't remember the last time we had two slobber knockers in one match. We're seeing a lot of wear and tear all over the professor's face. But can he pull it together and finish this demonstration in applied physics? And folks, if you want to listen in applied physics, just hover your mouse over that subscribe button and just appreciate how good it feels when you click that bad boy down. These two can barely stand under their own power, but now they're going for it hammer and tongs like a couple of glorified cartoon characters. And if there's one thing I've learned from cartoons, it's that if this commentary gig doesn't work out, I can always drive around in a van with my dogs solving mysteries. And we got another Turkish snow cone. God, I feel so dirty saying that. I absolutely don't want to know what that reference is, but it is going to drive me crazy. Massive splash from the top rope. Can he get the pin? 1, 2, 3. Mustapha Korkmaz takes the win. Let's go see some highlights from Ernie the cameraman. I gotta say, as far as debuts go, I ain't mad at that. That was some pretty solid wrestling we saw from our newcomer Mustapha Korkmaz. As I said before, compared to our women's division, our men's division is an absolute laughing stock, so we badly need some new talent. This guy may never be the second coming of Ravishing Rick Rude, but he's about the closest we're gonna get at this promotion. As long as we don't get any complaints for lewd and lascivious behavior, I think we've picked a winner. And it's about time we got something out of that developmental program. It's basically the Greendale College for wrestlers, and oh yes, that's a community reference. Congratulations to the Electric Gigolo Mustapha Korkmaz for his victory in this debut match. Like I said before, there's a lot of merchandising opportunities with this guy, and if we're clever, we can ride him all the way to the bank. I seriously doubt he's going to be the second coming of Ravishing Rick Rude, but that doesn't mean we can't stack them papers and sell a bunch of merch. And folks, times like this where I start sounding like General Manager Todd Sorensen, I realize just how jaded and cynical I have become working at this promotion. Folks, I cannot believe we are going back to this particular well, but unfortunately the mystery box has spoken and we must abide. I don't know where or how, and frankly I don't care to know. but somehow we have managed to locate both a girl Minotaur and a girl Cyclops. If La Femme Brutale and Marisa DuValier can beat both of them, then she gets her title shot against Lady Liberty, Maggie Dixon, next week. In the meantime, this is going to be another one of those matches that we will never live down. So let's go ringside right now and just get this damn thing over with. The following 1 vs 2 handicap tag match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, representing Broforce 1 and accompanied by her manager, Corey 312. From Marseille, France, she is La Femme Brutale, Marisa DuValier. La Femme Brutale wants everybody in the world to know I've got the mystery box and you don't. But tonight she is cashing in the mystery box for a very questionable price. The people on the Isle of Crete have been very vocal with their demands for more Minotaur and Cyclops matches. So I hope you're all happy, good people of Crete. The Detroit original Yo-Yo Brown also claims to have wrestled the Loch Ness Monster in the 70s. So I really hope we don't have to recreate that one anytime soon. He also claims to be the only person to have ever body slammed the Loch Ness Monster. But unfortunately, the only proof we have of that is a crude pencil sketch that he did. So apparently, we're just going to have to take his word for it. But if we have to recreate that one, it's going to take forever to flood this abandoned warehouse with the hose out back. And her opponents, from the Isle of Crete in Greece, they are a girl Minotaur and a girl Cyclops. Okay folks, there are many things wrong with this picture, and oh yes, we will get to them. But can I just say straight off the bat, there is something strangely attractive about that girl No, don't do it, John. Resist the pull of the dark side. Some of you may very well be asking, why does a girl Minotaur have horns? To be honest, that's the least egregious thing about this situation, but I feel remiss if I didn't mention it. While this is bound to be another one of those matches that will never live down, at least we're breaking new ground. If any other wrestling promotion out there starts doing Minotaur and Cyclops matches, we'll know they copied the idea from us, and you can bet your ass we're gonna sue. As far as mystery box prizes go, I really feel I should be pulling up a clip of Homer Simpson saying you got the dud. But the silver lining here is that if La Femme Brutale can take the win, she gets a title shot next week. Referee Henrietta Sorensen rings the bell and this travesty of a match is underway. We got a hip throw and a double stomp to the gut from the Minotaur. And once again, there is just something about that. No, don't do it, John. Remember what we learned in therapy. We are no longer attracted to Brandy Dixon or this Minotaur. La Femme Brutale clocking the Minotaur with a knee to the face and a follow-up with the running knee. Say what you will about Marisa DuValier, but she has very pointy knees and elbows. Drive into the corner. But Marisa is not staying there. She's got her eyes on the prize, and these two mythological creatures are just a speed bump on the way. And looky what we got here. The Minotaur playing a little fast and loose with those turnbuckle pads. And now referee Henrietta Sorensen has to deal with that nonsense. Marisa DuValier going for the roll-up. But is there any point if the ref's not watching? Broforce 1 manager Corey 312 is observing the proceedings from ringside. We'll see what kind of dubious assistance he provides. Marisa taking her down and going for the ankle lock. Can she make the Minotaur tap or snap? Minotaur powering out and firing back with some shots to the face. The Minotaur is going to have a real hard time walking after that. Fastball punch misses the mark, but La Femme Brutale clocks her with a kick. Marisa posting up in the corner and revving up to something big. In she comes for the drive-by, but the Minotaur gives her the slip. Bionic elbow takes her down, and we got the tag to the Cyclops. This match just became a lot scarier for La Femme Brutale. My Greek mythology is a little rusty, but I'm pretty sure Cyclopses eat people. And if they don't, they should start. There goes a pull cue in the ring from some helpful manager. Cyclops going to work with the stiff shots. There was a whole lot of force behind that stomp. And there is a whole lot of Minotaur and Cyclops merch for you to purchase at our merch stand. Cyclops coming in with the sidewalk slam. Cyclops getting a little distracted by Corey 312 on the outside. He may possibly be trying to recruit the Cyclops for his new wrestling promotion. And can anybody tell me why the Cyclops has a Mr. Tickles hand puppet? Hanniballa's gonna be missing that one. The Cyclops just shrugging off Marisa DuValier's blows. And this would be one of those very rare matches where it would be acceptable for one of the wrestlers to giggle. And judging by the smile on the Cyclops' face, she probably is giggling. You may also be wondering why this girl Cyclops doesn't have any hair. But if that right there is going to be your bone of contention, why don't you go complain about it somewhere else on the internet? Cyclops laying her out with a suplex. The Cyclops is dominating this match and La Femme Brutale can't get a word in edgewise. Marisa getting absolutely potatoed by the Cyclops and down she goes. And speaking of potatoes, try the seasoned curly fries at the concession stand. They're awesome. And we got the tag to the Minotaur. Cyclops dumping it to the mat and the Minotaur is hitting that frog splash. It's a 1-2, how do you do? So let's see it again in slow-mo. We were never given a good explanation as to why a Minotaur would team up with a Cyclops, but so far their tag team chemistry seems to be working. It's not the Motor City Machine Guns, but it's perfectly adequate. This Minotaur is a real show pony, lapping up the adulation of this Linwood crowd. More shenanigans abound with the turnbuckle cover. Marisa slipping the back. Minotaur gets bent backwards. Damn, that looked like it had to hurt. When all else fails, there's always the trusty ground and pound. With a cheeky little slap just to add a little insult to injury. Marisa DuValier is not taking any bull and she is grabbing the Minotaur by the horns, so to speak. If she can manage to isolate the Minotaur, she stands a good chance of winning this thing. The Cyclops is desperate for that hot tag, but she has got a ways to go. Marisa in the corner looking for another drive-by and the Minotaur gives her the slip. And folks, I feel I've been a little remiss by not making any cow-related puns, and I'm sure that's utterly disappointing. I have a lot of fun with this soundboard. I like to think it's one of... Good gravy, did you see that? Who knew Minotaurs could shoot fire? Certainly not me. La Femme Brutale managed to avoid getting flambéed, and she is going for the pin. Not even a 1 count. We got a whole lot of dirty players in this particular game. Referee Henrietta Sorensen is gonna have her hands full dealing with all these shenanigans. Okay folks, I got one for you. There's 2 cows in a field, and one cow says to the other, hot enough for you? And the other cow says, holy crap, a talking cow. Yeah, I knew you'd like that. The Minotaur is starting to show a little wear and tear. We got the bounce off the ropes and the shotgun dropkick. If she can just keep the Cyclops out of the equation, she may come out of this thing victorious. Going for the stomp, but the Minotaur rolls to her feet. Taking out the shins with the basement shotgun dropkick, and now she's posting up off the middle rope. The Minotaur is thrown down the challenge. And challenge acceptance is La Femme Brutale. Going for the brassiere du visage, but nobody home. Whip into the corner, but the tag is denied. There goes the whip, and up and over the ropes goes the Minotaur, straight to the cardboard. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and now the Cyclops gets a little taste. Cyclops gets knocked off the apron, and what is the Minotaur looking for? Here comes Marisa DuValier, but the Minotaur is fighting back. Whipped into the barricade. Mess with the Minotaur, you get the horns. Minotaur scaling the barricade, and there goes a double stomp to the back. You may be asking yourself, how is what I'm seeing legal? To be honest, we're a little lax when it comes to things like permits and paperwork in this promotion. But on the plus side, the cops aren't going to show up to this side of town for anything less than an overturned truck of Krispy Kremes. Minotaur with another double stomp to the gut. So there you go, folks. If ever you're in Linwood and you really need a cop, just tell them a Krispy Kreme truck got overturned and there's donuts spilling everywhere. They'll be there on the double. La Femme Brutale rallying the crowd, and this one is spilling back in the ring. Minotaur going for the full Nelson, and boom goes the Bulldog. That was pretty sweet, so let's see it again. And folks, I don't want to alarm anybody, but that rogue fox terrier has snuck back in and he has not paid. So folks, I apologize for any disruptions to this commentary. And can she get the pin? 1, 2. Kick out just after the 2. The Minotaur is starting to get a second wind. We got the lock up, there goes a kick to the gut and a stunner from the Minotaur. La Femme Brutale looking a little dazed, but she is not out of this yet. And we have seen this combination before. This right here is bad news bears for the Minotaur. But apparently just another day at the office for Marisa DuValier. She is not done punishing the Minotaur just yet. And boom, there it goes, the Brazier du Visage. It's always a crowd pleaser, so let's take another look. The 360 spin on this bad boy is what makes it super deadly, and also what makes it look really cool. But is that going to be enough for the pin? Cyclops coming in to break it up. If the Minotaur can't make the tag to the Cyclops, this one is going to be over real soon. Minotaur manages to fend her off. And there goes the whip into the ropes. Marisa firing back with a jawbreaker. Minotaur gets the whip, but she saw that kick coming a mile away and hit with the bionic elbow. Apparently we have not finished playing silly buggers with the turnbuckle pads. Whatever the Minotaur's got planned, it cannot be good. Vicious kick to the gut. Corey 312 is looking to stick his nose in again. And I hope the Minotaur knows that guy is not boyfriend material. Marisa DuValier back to her feet. There goes the whip and up and over the ropes. Minotaur firing back, and we are back in the ring. We're seeing a whole lot of aggression from these two, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Minotaur with a choke and a stiff shot to the bread basket. And more silly buggers with the turnbuckle pads. And can anybody tell me why it falls to referee Henrietta Sorensen to replace those turnbuckle pads? We got plenty of stagehands just lurking around doing bugger all. Why can't one of them replace the turnbuckle pads? We got the ripcord into a jumping knee. Whatever game the Minotaur was planning, Marisa DuValier does not want to play. La Femme Brutale going topside. Minotaur slowly getting back to her feet. Flying Superman punch misses the mark. Nobody home. Minotaur grabbing the leg and Marisa's knee gets slammed into the mat. Back on our feet again. And straight back to the mat. And are we seriously about to see another turnbuckle pad removed? Apparently we are. I'm telling you people, just glue the damn things on. Great balls of fire. It's French fried flambe. And can she get the pin? And once again, I gotta say, there is not much point doing that if the referee can't see. And we got the kick out. But let's take another look. Marisa DuValier just became a crispy critter. And if I were her, I'd be looking for some payback. Broforce 1 manager Corey 312 was not happy about that. There's the whip into the corner. Tag to the Cyclops, and I got a bad feeling, folks. There goes the double arm ringer. Down she goes, and ow! That was the wishbone, and that is painful to look at. Can she get the pin? 1! Kick out on the 1. Let's see that again. And this move always makes me wince. And all you guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. Let's just say there's a good reason this move is banned in the men's division. although I wouldn't put it past some of our wrestlers for trying it. La Femme Brutale's battle just got a whole lot harder with the Cyclops in the ring. There's the whip into the corner. Cyclops with the run-up and a brutal clothesline taking her down. This Cyclops seems just a little crazier than your average Cyclops. I don't have a lot of average Cyclopses to compare her to, but I feel confident making that statement nevertheless. Up and over the shoulders she goes, but La Femme Brutale has the counter. Coming in with a step-up Superman punch to lay her out. Marisa DuValier is done playing games and looking to stitch this one up. And this vicious combo is a damn good way to start. Can she get the pin? 1, 2, 3. Marisa DuValier takes the win. Let's go see some highlights from Ernie the cameraman. I know I said this the last 2 times we had a Minotaur and Cyclops match, but can we please not have another Minotaur and Cyclops match? Whoever makes the booking decisions around here, I am pleading with you. It's my birthday next month and you can consider it an early birthday present. Nevertheless, with this travesty of a match well behind us, Marisa DuValier has earned herself a title shot next week against Lady Liberty Maggie Dixon. In the meantime, maybe the girl Minotaur needs some ice packs or something, so I'm gonna... No, John. Resist the pull of the dark side. That was a close one, but I'm getting better at this, and one day, I think I'm gonna be cured. Congratulations to La Femme Brutale, Marisa DuValier, for her victory in this travesty of a match. Now that this unpleasantness is hopefully well behind us, we can look forward to her title match next week. In the meantime, we got a title match up next, and folks, I've got a real feeling of dread and trepidation going into this one. Good people of Linwood, for what you are about to see, we truly apologize. But unfortunately, once again, the mystery box has spoken, and we must abide. The hard-boozing, hardcore legend Linwood Knight is finally getting his title shot. He's squaring off against the Injustice Collector Nero, who himself just won the belt last week off the Gallo Glass Hamish Gunn. But here's the twist, folks. We have a special referee. Obnoxious influencer and Broforce 1 manager Corey 312. If you are expecting a fair fight, check your expectations at the door. Let's go ringside right now and see the carnage for ourselves. Introducing our special referee for this match. From Los Angeles, California in the United States, he is the manager of Broforce 1 and an obnoxious influencer. He is Corey 312. Folks, you can't even begin to fathom the level of deep animosity and burning hatred I have for this walking bag of human excrement. He has done nothing but upset the apple cart since his arrival. I had hoped we'd seen the last of him after the Boxburg butchers sent him to the emergency room, but alas, here we are, and as it would seem, money heals all wounds. If his goal is to make everybody at this promotion's life a living hell, he is doing a bang-up job. Needless to say, the one thing we cannot expect tonight is a good, clean match. Linwood Knight has truly stacked the deck in his favor by choosing this obnoxious excrement weasel as a referee to call the shots. This Linwood crowd may love Linwood Knight, but they are not loving this. The best we can hope for is that Corey gets himself seriously injured. I'm crossing my fingers. Introducing first the challenger, representing Broforce 1, from Linwood, Christchurch, right here in Aotearoa. He is the hard-boozing, hardcore legend. He is the sexiest man in the room, and he is the cockroach of professional wrestling, Linwood Knight. As far as mystery box prizes go, Linwood Knight really hit the jackpot with this one, and we are all going to be made to suffer for it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually would have preferred another Minotaur and Cyclops match. This is just one big train wreck that I can't take my eyes off. And his opponent, and current LWL Men's World Champion. From Havana, Cuba, he is Hell Unleashed. He is the Injustice Collector. He is Nero. As we know, Nero only won the title last week, and this is a hell of a way for him to defend it for the first time. Then again, Maggie Dixon defended her title for the first time in a Linwood deathmatch against her own mother. So stranger things have happened, and apparently they're going to keep happening at this promotion. But on the plus side, these two have faced each other a few times before, and Linwood Knight has never managed to beat Nero. Hopefully Nero will manage to keep the streak going despite any interference from Corey 312, because if he can't, we're going to have a literal riot. But here's the good news, folks. Because we sure as hell don't trust Corey 312 with it, all handling of the belt and duties pertaining to will be done by referee Henrietta Sorensen. That was just a little caveat of my own I managed to sneak in there, and thankfully General Manager Todd Sorensen took my suggestion on board, so there will be no funny business with the belt. My dog Jasko put a lot of effort into designing that thing, and he put all his love into it. And I'll be damned if I see it fall into the slippery hands of Corey 312. And once again, some of you may be asking, how does a fox terrier design a belt? To which I would reply, with a sketching tablet and an open source program like Critter. That's a really silly question, and you should feel embarrassed to ask it. But in the grand scheme of things, it may be the least embarrassing part of this train wreck. I can't goddamn believe this is happening. Referee Corey 312 rings the bell, and Nero is flying in with a Hurricane Rana and a double stomp to the gut. Going off the springboard with a moonsault. He looks like, what the hell is going on? Oh my god, did you just see that? Since when is the referee allowed to do that? And since when does the referee count this fast? Folks, this is another Linwood screwjob right here. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Oh, you have got to be shitting me. I have never seen anything so disgusting in all my time as a commentator, and this Linwood crowd agrees with me. And to be honest, folks, I haven't heard the crowd this hostile since we started charging admission to the toilets. They are really riled up about this. And to be honest, I'm starting to really fear for my safety. Folks, I think a riot's about to kick off any second. And if I don't make it out of here in one piece, somebody please tell my mom. Well, folks, I'm sorry to say it, but that is all the time we have for this week. Just when you thought we couldn't get any wilder and crazier, we go and pull something like that out of the hat. As always, I just want to take the time to thank each and every one of you wonderful people for tuning in this week. Once again, if you're in the Christchurch, Canterbury area, be sure to check out UCW's Overload show on the 1st of August. I have no affiliation with UCW, so I am just going as a fan, and if you see me there, don't be a stranger. So be sure to tune back in next week, because we are nowhere near done with the carnage and chaos. But until then, this is your good buddy, John the Commentator, signing off and signing out.